Hello and welcome to this lecture. In today's part, we are going to start a very important section of algebra, and that's called binomial theorem. So, the basic purpose of understanding binomial theorem is to understand expansions. So, till now in lower classes you have studied about something like x plus y raised to 1, which is x plus y of course. You have studied about x plus y the whole square. You can do x plus y the whole cube and so on. So that is limited to a certain extent. If somebody asks you how to do this, then with the kind of knowledge that you have with respect to the school algebra, this cannot be done. So there is a particular technique to do this, and with the knowledge of combinations, that is the knowledge of permutations and combinations, we can of course handle this. So a few years ago, mathematicians devised a technique that's called Pascal's triangle. So Pascal's triangle is something like 1, 1, 2. So in between these two numbers, I am going to put the sum of those two numbers, and then again 1 and 1. So this line is for this expansion. This line is for this expansion, wherein these are the coefficient of the terms. There are going to be 3 terms in this, there are going to be 4 terms in this, and simultaneously if we keep putting this, then we are going to arrive at the coefficients of the expansion wherein the power is raised to 4. If we keep doing this, then we can find the coefficients in this case, that is the power raised to 5. If it is 6, then it's going to be something like this. So these are the coefficients wherein the power will be 6. Now this was a technique which was developed by observations of course, and this is called Pascal's triangle because this was invented by Pascal. Now if we apply some standard technique, is there a way that if I have a power raised to 20, can I just write everything at one shot? Yes, there is a technique, and we will understand the technique now. So let's take a general expression, that is in this case we are going to consider x plus y raised to some n, where n of course is a positive integer. If this is the case, then the expansion is as follows: n c 0, this is the coefficient, x raised to n, that is n minus 0 is going to come over here, and this is y raised to 0, because this, the power of x and the power of y, if summed up, should give us n. So that's a very important condition. And then if we keep writing the terms, it's going to be nc1, so this is going to be increasing by 1, and now this is going to be, the power is going to be n minus 1, y raised to 1. So now you can see that n minus 1 plus 1 gives us n. So ultimately when summed up, the power should give n. Now if we keep doing this, then we will get all the terms, nc2, x raised to n minus 2, y raised to 2, and so on. If we keep doing this, the last term is going to be ncn, x raised to 0, y raised to n. That is going to be the last term. So we will take up some expansions, basic expansion, and understand how to apply this formula. Let's take up these two problems and try and expand with the help of the given method. So the method says that this is going to be 4c0, 1 raised to 4, and minus z. Of course, there is going to be minus z over here. Now, as a part of short note, we just consider something. We will consider x minus y raised to n. So the only change in this particular expansion is going to be what we had in x plus y it's almost going to be similar. So NC0 x raised to n y raised to 0, NC1 x raised to n minus 1 y raised to 1. So this will keep continuing, and then the last term is going to be NCn x raised to 0 y raised to n. That is what it is going to be. Now in this particular term, you can clearly see that wherever the powers are odd, at that particular point, the number, this particular term is going to be minus, because now this is y raised to 1. So the only change that will happen in x minus y raised to n is going to be nc0 x raised to n y raised to 0. This will remain same. This will become minus. This sign will become minus because this is y raised to 1. So nc1 x raised to n minus 1 y raised to 1. Next one is going to be positive, of course, nc2 x raised to n minus 2 y raised to 2, because this is y squared. Even though there is a minus sign, it will get squared up and the negative will be eliminated. Third term, in fact the fourth term is going to be nc3 x raised to n minus 3 y raised to 3. This is going to be minus. And similarly, if you keep doing, then ultimately you will end up with a situation which is this. Now of course, the last term is going to be dependent on what n is. So if n is going to be odd, then this is going to be minus. If n is going to be even, then this is going to be plus. So it depends on the sign, it depends on what the n is, even or odd. So let us take up this expression now and work on this expression. So if I go by this rule, this is going to be minus z raised to 0, 4c0, 1 raised to 4c1, 4 minus 1 is 3, and this minus z is going to be 1 raised to 1. Third term is going to be 4c2, 1 raised to 2 minus z raised to 2. Next term is going to be 4c3, 1 raised to 3 minus z raised to 1. Of course, this is 1 and this is 3. And lastly, it's going to be 4c4, 1 raised to 1, 1 raised to 0 minus z raised to 4. Now let us expand this. So 4c0 is going to be 1 into 1 raised to 4, and this is also going to be 1 because minus z raised to 0 is 1. Second one, here is going to be 4 factorial by 3 factorial into 1 factorial. So what will remain over here is 4, and this is minus z. So we will just adjust this sign over here. This one is going to be 4 factorial by 2 factorial into 2 factorial, and this is going to be z square. 4 factorial, this is again going to be 4 factorial by 3 factorial into 1 factorial, and this is minus z cube. And lastly, this one, which is going to be 1 into z raised to 4. So clearly, now if we go ahead, we'll get the final answer. So it's going to be 1 minus 4 z plus this is going to be 4 into 3 divided by 2. So this is going to be 6. The coefficient is going to be 6 over here, 6z square. This is 4 factorial by 3 factorial, which is going to be again 4 z cube plus z raised to 4. Now if we go back to the Pascal's triangle and analyze 1, 2, 1, this is for the first one, second one power 2, power 3, and this is going to be power 4. So here you can see that, as mentioned earlier, the coefficients are 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So here also it is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And at the odd powers, the negative sign is coming up as discussed in the concept. So this is a very basic expansion. Another observation is, if the power is n, then the number of turns in the expansion is n plus 1. If the power is n, then the number of terms in the expansion is n plus 1, as you can see. So here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 terms. So if the power is 100, the number of terms are going to be 101. Let's take up one more problem and expand this particular expression. So as discussed earlier, for the power of 5, there are going to be 6 terms. And we know that the fourth power is something like this. So fifth power is going to be, these will be the coefficients in the fifth power. Now let's multiply, actually expand. So this is going to be 5c0 x square raised to 5, 2y raised to 0. Second expression is going to be 5c1 x square raised to 4, 2y raised to 1. Third one is going to be 5c2 x square raised to 3, 2y raised to 2. 5c3 x square, the whole square, 2y3. 5c4 is going to be x square 1, 2y raised to 4. Lastly, this is going to be 5c5 x square raised to 0, 2y raised to 5. Now we know what the coefficients are, so I can write them directly. So this is going to be 1 into x square raised to 5, that is going to be x raised to 10 into 1. This is going to be 5, which is going to be x raised to 8 into 2y. This is going to be 10, x raised to 6 into 4y square. This one is going to be 10 again, which is x raised to 4 and 8y cube. This one we can write as 5 x square 16 y raised to 4. Lastly, this term, which is going to be 1 into 32 raised to y raised to 5. Final expression is going to be x raised to 10 plus 10x raised to 8y plus 40x raised to 6y square plus 80x4y cube plus 80 x square y raised to 4 plus 32 y raised to 5. So that is the answer of this question. Now let us go to the next concept and consider these two expressions. One is x plus a raised to n, the other one is x minus a raised to n. The expansion of both of them is almost similar, except the fact that there is a minus sign at all the even places. That is the second term, fourth term, sixth term is going to be negative in this case. So now let us consider the expansions 1 and 2. So here we are adding both the expressions, here we are subtracting both the expressions. So if I add both the expressions, then what will happen is the terms at even places, that is the second place, the fourth place, sixth place, all of them will get cancelled, and what will remain is sum of terms at odd places. So these will add up and it will be 2 times, as you can see. So that is the concept. However, when you subtract them, what will happen is plus minus of minus, this will get added. So terms over here which are having negative signs at even places, they will get added and these will get subtracted. So that's why I have written 2 times sum of terms at even places. Now the number of terms. The number of terms in the first case when n is odd, so if this n is like power 3, let's consider the power is 3, and if you consider this expression x plus a raised to 3 plus x minus a raised to 3, you can for yourself understand that here the terms are going to be 1 minus 3 plus 3 and minus 1, and here they are going to be 1 minus 3 plus 3 minus 1. So you can clearly see that when both are added, these terms are going to be subtracted, that is this one and this one. So what will remain over here now, you can clearly see that 4 terms are there. In all, we are going to have 4 terms. So you can see for yourself that if I put 3 over here, 3 plus 1 by 2, that's going to be 2 terms. So when we add both of them, it's going to be 2 times this term plus this term, because we are going to add them. Similarly, if we subtract them, that is, this expression is subtracted, then what will happen is this is going to be added, that is, the circle terms are going to be added, and then still we are getting the answer as 2. So that is valid in the case of this expression, that is when the n is odd. So now when the n is odd, you can see for yourself that in such a case, when they are added, the number of terms are going to be 2. Now here there is a slight correction. This is odd and this is even. So in either case, if this power is n, that is n is odd number, then the number of terms are going to remain the same, as you can see. Now let us shift this power to even. So if this is even, and let's add them. So this is going to be, you can clearly see that it's going to be x square plus 2ax plus a square, and this is going to be x square minus 2ax plus a square. So the middle term goes, of course, when we add it, and the number of terms that we get is 2 times x square plus a square. So here in this case what has happened is the number of terms is 2. Now let us put n as 2 over here. 2 by 2 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So overall we are getting 2 terms, and when we subtract them, what will happen? We are just going to get 1 term, because these 2 terms will be subtracted now. This will go and this will go, this will go, this will go. So this, now since there is a minus sign, this minus minus will become plus, and what we will get is 4ax. So we just get 1 term, and so if the number of terms are even, as you can see, 2 by 2 is going to be 1. So we are just getting 1 term. So in general, this expression was explained with the help of simple powers 2 and 3. In general, you have to remember all these conditions. Now let us understand the next concept. In this only, if we have even power here, then the last term that we are going to have over here will be of the form ncn x raised to 0 a raised to n. And if we have odd n, then the last term in this case is going to be the second last term in the expansion of this. That is, you can very well understand that it's going to be a cube over here and it's going to be minus a cube over here. So that's going to cancel for n equals to 3. So which means that the last term is not going to exist over here. So the last term in the final expression will be the second last term in the expansion, which is ncn minus 1 x raised to 1 a raised to n minus 1. And in this case, it's exactly going to be the opposite of what we have derived here, and you can prove it for yourself now. If we have even n, then the last term over here is going to be ncn minus 1 x raised to 1 a raised to n minus 1. And if it's odd n, then the last term is going to be nc n a raised to n. That is going to be the last term. So let's take some problems based on the concepts learned. Now we have these expressions given and we have to find a number of terms in the expansion. So as discussed earlier, this is a case wherein n is even, that means 100. And if n is even and if you are adding both of them, then the expression for this is going to be n by 2 plus 1. So if it is n by 2 plus 1, then you can understand that it's going to be 100 by 2 plus 1, which is 51. So overall you're going to have 51 terms over here. In this particular expansion, we have n is odd, that is 7, and if n is odd, then we know that it's going to be n plus 1 by 2 in both the cases. So it's going to be 7 plus 1 by 2, which is 4 terms. In this last expression, you can see that n is even, and if n is even, it's a case of minus. So we are going to apply the formula n by 2 straight, which is 30 by 2, and the answer is going to be 15. Now we have got this expression, we have got the expansion of raised to the power 6, and we know from sometimes Pascal's triangles does help in getting fast answers. But when you're writing something in the school paper, in school exam, you have to present it properly in the format that is taught to you. So now if you are going by the Pascal's triangle, we know that the expansions that we have to deal with is something like this. So it's the fifth power, sixth power is going to be this is what it will be. Now as far as this is concerned, the second power, so this will be the coefficients in the first term. In the second term, the coefficients will be these. This is what we will have. So which means that these terms will definitely get cancelled when we add them, and overall what we will get is the 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. And now what we just want is those particular terms in the expansions. Now by observation I know that this is going to be x raised to 6. This is going to be 15 x raised to, this is 5, 4, and this is minus 1. Sorry, this is going to be plus 1 raised to 2. This is the second term. Third term over here, of course this is minus, so this is plus 4, 3, 2. And this is going to be fourth one. Overall the power has to be 6. And here this is going to be the last term, which is 1 raised to 6. So overall you can see for yourself now that without expanding much, we have done this problem, and the overall expression is going to be 2 times x raised to 6 plus 15 x raised to 4 plus 15 x square plus 1. Now once we have arrived at this expression, it means that all that we have to do is just replace x by root 2. If you replace x by root 2 over there in the expansion, what we get is 8, this is going to be 60, this is going to be 30, this is 1. So 91 plus 8, that's 99. 99 into 2, that is going to be 198. That is the answer of this expression. Let's take up a few more problems. This time, instead of 2 terms, we have 3 terms. So what do we do in this case? Now let's understand this part. You can clearly see that this is some expansion that we already know, and that is nothing but x minus 1 the whole square. So this is really easy now, because we know that this is same as x minus 1 raised to 6. And this we can directly expand because we know the coefficients. The coefficients are going to be 1, 5, in fact 1, 6, the coefficients, of course, 1, 6, 15, 20, we know that the coefficients are 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6 and 1. And I know the odd places are going to have minus signs. So let's keep decreasing the powers by 1, 1 every time. So this is going to be x raised to 6 minus 6 x raised to 5 plus 15 x raised to 4 plus 20 x raised to 3 minus 15 x raised to 2 plus 6 x raised to 1 minus 1. That is how we write it. So here there is a slight sign mistake. This has to be minus, this has to be plus, this has to be minus, and of course this is plus. Now let's go to the next question, because this is really simple. Now here in the second case, we can't really take it as a shortcut or compress it and write it in the form of binomial expression or two terms. Now if we have to expand this according to the concepts learned, we have to do one thing, that is, considering this expression, this will be our one term and the second term is going to be this. Now if we expand this is going to be like, of course the coefficients we know already, but then we can write as 4c0 1 minus x square raised to 0. This is going to be 4c1 1 minus x the whole cube x square raised to 1. This is 4c2 1 minus x raised to 2 x square raised to 2. This is going to be 4c3 next 1 minus x raised to 1 x square raised to 3, and finally 4c4 1 minus x raised to 0 x square raised to 4. Now if we expand this is going to be 1 minus x raised to 4 plus 4 1 minus x the whole cube into x square, of course. This is going to be 6 1 minus x the whole square into x raised to 4. This is again 4 1 minus x raised to 1 x raised to 6, and ultimately this is going to be 1 into x raised to 8. Again we can expand this now. After expanding, we are going to get it as 1. Of course the terms are going to be slightly different this time. Now if we expand it as 1 minus x or x minus 1, we are going to get the same. But then if we follow the rules, then the terms are going to be increasing order by order. So this will have minus 4x plus 6 x square minus 4 x cube plus x raised to 4. This is the first expression. Second one, as you can see, is going to be a cube. So ultimately this is going to be 1 minus 3x plus 3x square minus x cube into x square multiplied over here. This will be comparatively simpler. 4 multiplied inside x raised to 6 minus x raised to 7, and here also there will be a 4, and this is x raised to 8. Now this is a very simple expression, because we know that there is a power of 8, there is one power of 7, and here we can find that all the powers are lower, because this is x raised to 6, the highest will be x raised to 5 here, this will be x raised to 4, this will be x raised to 3, and so on. And all those terms which are of like powers, they will be combined. So if you can see that this into this will give us 3 into x raised to 4, and here we have x raised to 4. So overall we will have the addition. So the final expression that we get is 1 minus 4x plus 6x square in fact plus 10x square, because you can see that this is 6x square and here there is 4x square. Minus 16x raised to 5 . So this is the final expression that you are supposed to get after adding all of the terms. So the concept is, if there are 3 terms, then we have to divide, we have to take 2 at a time and then carry out the expression.